releasing exclusive online drops and holding CBD pop-ups. You need to be one of their 30,000 social media followers to be in the know about this native online business. Updating their Facebook and Instagram accounts with product previews and upcoming releases, KOKAINE has garnered a following of loyal customers who want to access exclusive streetwear, and they're the ones to provide it. So Sneaker Laundry kickstarted Australia's first sneaker cleaning business in October last year. Their mission was clear: make clean shoes affordable and accessible and launch an e-commerce platform for sneaker care products. Sneaker Laundry's founders both came to the business with social media backgrounds in nightclub and clothing label promotion and used this experience to gain over 18,000 followers across Instagram and Facebook in just 10 months.
I'm Hao. I have a street label called KOKAINE. It's a very cult following, and I believe in true following. So at the end of the day, even though I'm sitting on 20,000 or 30,000 Instagram followers, I also do YouTube. So I have my girlfriend over there. We do YouTube as well. So my prime goal is turning every subscriber to a consumer. So any follower to a consumer. So for me, it's not about the numbers. So if you have, my goal at the end of the day is having a true 1,000 fan following. So no matter what business I open, so I also own Sneaker Laundry as well. So that means if 1,000 fans for me go to any of my businesses and generate some sort of profit, at the end of the day, it can just grow. So right now, my brand is sitting at, I don't know, like maybe 50,000 followers in general, and we're able to do pop-ups throughout the whole Melbourne. The last pop-up I did was in Melbourne, Collins Street. I brought about 600 or 700 people, and then he shut down Collins Street, which was insane. And the great thing about social media for me is that people interact really, really well with it. And if your social media in general is not true, as in you can't see a character through it, and it's just not basic content every single day, and people like nowadays to have a face behind the brand, and people know me and my girlfriend and a few of my crew members as the owners, and they like to see us out and about and living our normal lives. So it's just nothing but, it's not just showcasing what your clothing is, but how it gets created and how people actually move towards it and actually enjoy the creation of it. So right now, like, KOKAINE's been around for about 3 years. I'm not even gonna lie, 3 or 4 years. I struggled the first year. I struggled really, really bad. I'm talking, I had stock sitting at home, like $10,000 worth of stock sitting at home. Only in the last 2 or 3, like last year, I started moving that stock, and now I'm just selling out. And it's insane of a journey. But Sneaker Laundry has helped as well, so I'll let Eugene talk about that.
Hey guys, I'm Eugene. Obviously I do Sneaker Laundry, and I recently graduated from Law and Commerce at Monash. Just decided I'd take the plunge and go full time into running our own businesses. It's a bit of a move, but it's pretty daunting sometimes when you've got bills to pay. But my background is that I run nightclubs as well. One of the nightclubs I run is R&B. Weirdly enough, that was where my whole social digital marketing journey started. We're sitting on close to 15,000 likes on Facebook, and it's when I realized that Facebook marketing can be really targeted. Funnily enough, it's a predominantly Asian demographic that goes to this nightclub. We host big names like Bruno Mars, Cristiano Ronaldo has come through, and a whole ton of them. And I realized from there that you can really grow a Facebook page to be super targeted to your audience. That's when I hit him up and I go, hey, let's do Sneaker Laundry. There's one in LA, there's tons in Asia. Australia needs one. So we came up with that, and starting organically was pretty rough. You'd think that, we thought that, okay, being the first in Australia, man, everyone's going to jump on this, it's going to be crazy, but it's not that easy, I guess. Like, I definitely overlooked that. But as we creep onto our first year, I think it's been really, really good to know that you can build that. It is a bit of an education process, but through digital marketing and growing our platforms organically, you can have a bit of a cult following with that brand as well. I personally vouched for this pop-up when I went there, which is insane. I've got nothing to do with KOKAINE. I showed up and the SES pulled up at Collins Street thinking something was going on. He had half of Collins Street and then half of Yellow Street that was onto Collins Street. I forgot what that was. It was Swanson Street. And literally just a queue backed up all the way through to 4 PM when he was closing. The SES thought some building was on fire. It's pretty funny.
My business plan at the very start, I called it the Pharrell Williams plan. So if you guys know who Pharrell Williams is, he's one of my idols. And the way he really did it, he moved from music to becoming an icon to becoming fashion. So I started off being a DJ. I personally, that's how I met Eugene actually. I'm gonna say I'm semi-decent at it. I got a decent following from there, and then I was like, I'm gonna use this following and create a brand. And then that's where it started from there. And then from the brand, I started my YouTube channel. So I'm trying to tie it all in as one. So that was my business plan from the very get-go, and this is an 8 to 10 year business plan. So I've been DJing for nearly a decade now, and then my true following or cult following is from my DJing, and now it's become YouTube. For me personally, as in fashion-wise, it's all about the experience. I'm more catered to the experience. The money is always a plus. I'm not even gonna lie, like the money is great. I can buy nice things. I don't really care anymore. At the end of the day, it's what your customers actually see. For content creating wise, for me, yes, you can just show your items, your garments or whatnot, but at the end of the day, does it really reflect on how your brand is exposed? So at the start, I was really imitating a lot of other brands like Supreme, Bape, Off-White, you name it. I sort of wanted to steal their limelight and how they design their own things. But then I realized there was really no character behind it. And I found out that I needed to really shine my own style through it. So I really started doing really wacky things, like my stickers that I give out for free have Powerpuff Girls on it, they have Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory. So it's more of me going through the brand rather than just a brand alone selling it. So people really interacted with me as a person and what I grew up liking, and that's the best thing about it. And I really, like, this is such a cliche thing to say, but honestly, be true to yourself and your style. Like, I will honestly admit that I started doing things that was the norm, like as in like normal box logo Supreme tops, normal stripes, normal, like things that people were really liking already. And then I started moving away from it because I noticed that the following was true to me, not to what I was actually designing. And then from there on, it was all about experience. That's the only reason why I did a pop-up. I didn't care if I sold out, I didn't care if I made 100 grand, $10, it didn't even matter to me. For me, it was more about the experience and how people can walk away with content. Like for me, Instagram and stuff like that, I can get 1,000 likes, I can get 2,000 likes. It doesn't mean those 2,000 people are gonna buy product. It just means they like a nice looking photo. Like, so what from it? So that's why, for me, that's why I'm saying to you guys, it's having a true following, and I'm gonna say a cult following, like they follow you to the end of the earth. If you put a pop-up in the middle of the desert, you're gonna come out looking like a lion because you made some decent money out of that. And that's what I wanna do. And as she said as well, the business side of it, you don't learn this. You don't learn it from fashion school. Like, I had no idea. Accounting, ABNs, making a website, creating content, taking photos, like knowing what camera to use, what lens to use, what lighting, all that, like, you have no idea. You sort of just come in, like, my Instagram came from like Instagram filters from VSCO to like great film, and now it's going to grain, now I'm doing like Instagram stories, and it just goes everywhere. Like, you just don't learn, and you just learn on the go rather than, it's some of this stuff, I hate to say it, I'm not gonna, RIT can't teach you, it's something like you just jump into it and you learn the hard way. People really are down with you no matter what your brand sells. Like for example, Supreme sells a brick. They sold a brick with the word Supreme on it, and people bought it. Like just let that sit in for like 10 seconds. And they resold it as well, which is insane. And just for example, like Yeezy, Kanye, he drops shoes all the freaking time, and people still buy it. Even though they look ugly as hell, no one cares. It's just that cult true following and those fans that will go to the end of the earth and support you. And that's what I'm trying to create through Instagram and Facebook, to be honest.
So I would just like to know, for all of you, whether you have been involved in influencer campaigns or you've engaged in influencer marketing for your businesses, and how you kind of set them up, how you legitimize them, if you're creating contracts, and stuff like that.
And I believe in the consumer is the influencer, because at the end of the day, for me personally, the way I see it for clothing is, and for fashion, you actually don't know the analytics of how far that influence can take your brand. Like, you can have a person that has 1.1 million like followers or subscribers or whatever, but if they're liking them because they upload car photos and you're sending them sneaker cleaning stuff, that makes no sense to their audience, so they're not going to follow you or they're not going to buy it. Influencers for me, that's why, for example, this is a great example just for me, that I'm trying to be the influencer. So people come to me and buy my goods. So there is two ways around doing it. You can literally have influencers, you can send them influencers, or you can be the influencer. So being the influencer for me, I get to create and sort of influence my people the way I want them, and I have full content of what they buy and what they see. So that's my sort of thing with influencer marketing. But same thing with sneaker laundry. We pound out as many like care packages to people, sneaker influencers, people who really love their shoes, fashion people and stuff like that, and they really enjoy it. So influencers, you just really need to be catering to what they are and what they actually stand true to, because if they don't like your product, they're just like, it's just free goods. At the end of the day, being an influencer, you get a lot of free stuff, and it's like a frenzy of free things.
Feel free to come up and ask any questions.